Welcome to this live session where I'm going to talk about strategies for stimulating the vagus nerve. This is part 2 of this topic, and if you'd like to watch part 1, do click the link below this video or above this video where you can watch part 1. In part 1 I did talk about more physical strategies. In this session I'm going to talk about strategies that are heart-based and mind-based. These are tips that were shared in my group. Someone in my Facebook group asked a question about how to calm down their sympathetic nervous system and activate the vagus nerve. So before we go on to exploring those heart and mind-based strategies, one person actually shared a couple of strategies which were more physical. One which was just actually putting your hands on your heart, breathing, closing your eyes, and just focusing on the kind of area around your heart. And this person also shared a strategy called left nostril breathing was something that she found helpful. So a few more tips from people in my Facebook group. So Angeline Lucas, someone in my group, says, in terms of calming your nervous system, one of the most profound things I did was to learn to be more gentle with myself. My reminder was assertive, mindful, and gentle. To be more kind and gentle with and to myself as part of that, to be more assertive and stand up for my rights and needs, and to be more mindful in order to accomplish the other two. I had to learn about setting boundaries. Do look this up if you're not familiar, she says. Standing up for myself, saying no, and stopping being a people pleaser. She says, I had to peel away my internalized external expectations and start tuning into myself and what I truly wanted, rather than my decisions and actions being predominantly dictated by shoulds. I had to start respecting myself and treating myself with the same level of kindness, consideration and patience I offered others. I had to start talking to myself in a gentle, kind voice instead of barking at myself in my mind. Once I'd made these changes, my nervous system calmed right down. She says, if any of this resonates, I'd be happy to walk you through some of the strategies I found which helped. So Angeline raises some great points, especially about tuning into wants and needs. I think this is really important. I was talking this week in the group coaching call about the distinction between what we want and what we need. For instance, we might want chocolate when we're upset, but this may cause more stress in the long term if we binge on chocolate. And it might be that actually what we need is a hug, or it might be something else. When we don't tune into what we truly need, we can suppress our intuition about what we need. And that can cause internal stress. So for example, if you're in a situation where you want to say no, but you don't because either you don't want to disappoint the other person or upset them, consider, how does it feel when you're not being authentic? My experience is that it actually generates some stress inside my body. And when my energy was low with CFS, actually that extra stress just did have a negative effect on my energy. Someone else mentions, leading on from what Angeline shared, was it's most of all be kind and patient with yourself. The next thing I want to talk about is the importance of cultivating a relationship between the part of you that sometimes is anxious. I get clients to think of that part as their kind of scared child, and therefore cultivating the relationship between that part that sometimes is anxious, scared, upset, and your inner parent, the part that can take care of that child. Now, this is a big topic, but consider that when you soothe that part of you that's anxious. Say, look, we're going to deal with this together. Then it's as if you're taking care of that child. And people have found that to be helpful. A few people mentioned meditations and guided meditations. Adrienne in the group says, ask this person, have you tried yoga nidra? She says it's meditative. I find it really helps me calm down. There's an approach called Heartfulness meditation, which was shared by Andrew. And he shared a paper which kind of talks about the results of that approach. And it says that Heartfulness uses, actually Andrew says there's Heartfulness uses a 3-day period of initiation where one meditates each day with a trainer to enliven the method. He says, I can't describe it, but I've meditated in other systems and this one is very different. The paper says that Heartfulness meditation practice asks participants to sit comfortably and gently focus their attention with eyes closed on the source of light within the heart. Rather than trying to visualize this, participants were asked to simply tune in to their hearts and be open to any experience that they may have. If their mind wanders, participants were advised to gently direct toward the heart. This was recommended in the morning for 20 minutes and at night for 5 minutes before going to sleep. Participants were asked to use the same technique at least once per week in group meditation led by a Heartfulness trainer for 30 minutes. An evening practice lasting 15 minutes was recommended, in which participants were asked to imagine that stress and heaviness, impurities and complexities were leaving the body through the back in the form of smoke or vapour. These impurities and complexities were to be replaced by a flow of purity, lightness and freshness. Participants were asked to not dwell on these things. They were expunging, but to simply brush them off. So that's just a description of Heartfulness meditation. If you're interested, Google it. A couple of other things that people have mentioned. One is social connection and feeling safe as being important. Removing stress from your life where possible. That might mean reducing how much you watch the news, especially at night time. Considering if there are negative people in your life who are just making your life more stressful, and considering whether you need to set boundaries with that person or whether you need to gently kind of distance yourself from those people. A few people mentioned brain training programs. When I work with people, one of the things I'm really doing is helping people move from what I call the lower self, where we're in an anxious state, to the higher self, the part of us that does cultivate trust. And this is something we can work on. That's very central to the work I do when working with people. Someone else mentioned the importance of creative activities if you're up to it. Someone else mentioned the importance of laughter and comedy. I was listening to a podcast in which this chap, Brian Johnson, who runs a company called Optimize, was saying we've got to get the balance right. If we spend too much time watching stuff on telly more than a couple of hours, it can actually be counterproductive. We're kind of looking for the rewards and the excitement rather than doing things that are more nourishing. So, in the right dose, it can be a really good antidote. And certainly I enjoy watching a bit of comedy if I'm at home of an evening. But we've got to get that balance right. I mentioned in the last part that there are a few strategies. Someone in my group did mention this hypnosis audio that I sell. If you'd like to know more about that, get in touch. But there are also some free resources, including the time out relaxation audio and the mind massage guided visualization, and a set of guided visualizations that I've done that you can access. If you'd like more about that, to know more about those things, let me know. So do leave a comment about what your takeaways are. What are some things that you could practice? What is one thing that you could implement? And do leave a comment so that other people will get notified of this video. If you're watching on YouTube, do like and subscribe for more content. And if you found the video helpful, please share. Thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, get in touch. Bye for now.